ChatGPT has become one of the most recognizable AI products in the world. Millions of people use it to write, study, code, analyze information, create images, and even run parts of their businesses. But here's a question that most users don't think about. How does OpenAI actually make money? Because artificial intelligence is not cheap. Every question you ask requires computing power, expensive hardware, massive data centers, engineers, and enormous amounts of electricity. So, how can a company give millions of people access to AI while also spending billions of dollars developing and operating it? The answer is much bigger than ChatGPT Plus. OpenAI has built a business around several different sources of revenue. And understanding those revenue streams reveals something much more interesting. OpenAI isn't just trying to sell a chatbot. To understand how OpenAI makes money, we first need to understand what the company is actually selling. At the simplest level, OpenAI sells access to artificial intelligence. But that access can come in several different forms. The first is the product most people know, ChatGPT. The second customer is the business world. Companies can pay for ChatGPT so their employees can use AI for work. And the third group is developers. Instead of using ChatGPT directly, developers can connect their own applications to OpenAI's models through an API. That means an AI application you use might not look like ChatGPT at all. It could be a customer service system, a coding tool, an education platform, or an AI assistant. But behind the scenes, it could be using OpenAI's technology. So we can simplify OpenAI's business into three major markets: consumers, businesses, and developers. And each one creates a different source of revenue. Let's start with the most obvious source of revenue. Subscriptions. ChatGPT has a free version, but some users want more. They may want access to more advanced models, higher usage limits, additional tools, or features designed for more demanding workloads. Those users can pay for premium plans. This creates something extremely valuable for a software company: recurring revenue. Instead of a customer paying once and disappearing, a subscriber can pay every single month. Imagine, purely as a hypothetical example, that a company had 100,000 customers paying $20 per month. That's $2 million in monthly revenue. Over a year, that would be $24 million. And that's from only 100,000 paying customers. Of course, this is only a mathematical example and does not represent OpenAI's actual subscriber count or revenue. The important idea is the business model. The more people who decide that AI is useful enough to pay for every month, the larger the recurring revenue base becomes. And subscriptions aren't limited to individuals. The much bigger opportunity may come from companies. Businesses change the economics of AI. Think about a company with 100 employees. Instead of one person paying for an AI subscription, the company can potentially provide AI tools to an entire workforce. Employees might use AI to write emails, summarize meetings, analyze documents, generate reports, write code, research information, or automate repetitive tasks. For a company, the question isn't simply, how much does this software cost? The bigger question is, how much productivity can this software create? If an AI tool costs a company thousands of dollars, but saves employees tens of thousands of dollars worth of working time, the economics can make sense. This is why enterprise software can become extremely valuable. OpenAI offers business-focused products designed for organizations, including ChatGPT Business and Enterprise. Business plans are designed for teams, while Enterprise is aimed at larger organizations and includes additional administrative, security, and support capabilities. And unlike a consumer casually paying for an app, a large company can potentially have hundreds or thousands of employees using AI. That means one business customer can be worth far more than one individual subscriber. This is one of the most important parts of OpenAI's business strategy. The goal isn't only to get people to use ChatGPT, it's to get organizations to build AI into the way they work. But there's another way OpenAI can make money that many ordinary ChatGPT users never see: the API. An API allows software developers to connect their own applications to OpenAI's AI models. Imagine a startup wants to build an AI customer support system. The startup doesn't need to build a massive language model from scratch. Instead, it can build the application itself and connect that application to an AI model through an API. The customer sees the startup's product, but the AI intelligence behind the product can come from Openai. The same idea can be used for coding assistants, education platforms, writing tools, research applications, productivity software, and thousands of other potential products. This creates an interesting business model. Openai doesn't need every user to open chatgpt.com. Its technology can be used inside other software. Developers generally pay based on how much they use the models, according to the specific pricing structure of the model and API service. So imagine a company builds an AI application, and that application becomes extremely popular. Every time users interact with the AI, the application may consume more model capacity. That creates usage for the API, and usage creates revenue. This means Openai can potentially make money from an entire ecosystem of applications built on top of its technology. In other words, Openai isn't only trying to own the AI assistant. It can also try to become part of the infrastructure powering other AI products. Now let's go one level higher. Large companies have very different requirements from individual users. A bank, a multinational company, or a large technology company can't simply tell thousands of employees, go create an account and start using AI. They need security. They need administrative controls. They need to manage users. They may need centralized billing. They may need support. And they may have strict requirements around how company information is handled. This is where enterprise software becomes extremely valuable. Openai's enterprise offering is designed for large organizations and includes features aimed at security, administration, deployment, and support. The pricing is also customized for enterprise customers rather than simply being one fixed public price for everyone. And this creates an important difference. Consumer software is often measured in dollars per user. Enterprise software can be measured by the value it provides to an entire organization. If AI becomes deeply integrated into a company's workflow, switching away from that system can also become more difficult. That can make enterprise customers particularly valuable over the long term. But now we reach the most important part of the story. Making revenue is one thing. Making profit is another. AI models are expensive to build and operate. Behind every AI interaction are powerful computers, specialized chips, data centers, networking equipment, engineers, researchers, electricity, cooling systems, and massive infrastructure. And there is a strange economic problem here. The more successful an AI product becomes, the more people use it. But more usage also means more computing. More computing means higher costs. So Openai has to solve a difficult equation. It needs revenue to grow faster than the cost of providing that AI, and this is why scale matters so much. If Openai can make its models more efficient, reduce the cost of inference, increase the value of its products, and convince more users and businesses to pay, the economics can improve. But if usage grows much faster than revenue, enormous demand could also mean enormous expenses. That's the fundamental challenge behind the business. So, what is Openai ultimately trying to build? You can think of it as a flywheel. More users create more demand. More demand creates more revenue opportunities. More revenue can support investment in models, infrastructure, research, and products. Better models can create better products. Better products can attract more users and businesses. And those users generate even more demand. The cycle continues. This is why the competition in AI isn't simply about which company has the smartest chatbot. It's also about distribution. It's about developers. It's about enterprise customers. It's about infrastructure. And most importantly, it's about who can build a sustainable business around increasingly powerful AI. Openai wants its technology to exist at every level. A consumer can use ChatGPT. A company can use AI across its workforce. And a developer can build an entirely new product on top of Openai's models. That's a much larger opportunity than selling one chatbot. So let's bring everything together. Openai's business model can be simplified into 4 major areas. First, consumer subscriptions. People pay for premium access to ChatGPT. Second, business customers. Companies pay to give their teams access to AI. Third, enterprise. Large organizations can purchase more advanced business solutions with additional controls, security, administration, and support. And fourth, the API. Developers and companies can integrate OpenAI's models into their own applications and pay based on usage and the specific services they use. But there is one thing connecting all four: AI usage. The more useful AI becomes, the more opportunities OpenAI has to monetize that usage. And that's what makes OpenAI's business model so interesting. OpenAI isn't simply selling access to a chatbot. It's trying to build a platform around artificial intelligence. A platform where individuals pay for AI, businesses pay for AI, developers build with AI, and large organizations integrate AI into their operations. But there's still one huge question. Can OpenAI make artificial intelligence profitable at enormous scale? Because if AI becomes more powerful while becoming cheaper to operate, the opportunity could be enormous. But if the cost of running increasingly powerful models keeps rising just as quickly as demand, the economics become much harder. And that's the real business story behind OpenAI. Not just how much money it can make, but whether it can turn the AI revolution into a sustainable business. Can AI become a trillion-dollar business? Subscribe for more business breakdowns.